so excited to tell you about our greens. Does anybody take greens in this room? So the greens come in 3 different packaging styles, and we have 2 flavors. We have orange and we have berry. So let me tell you about the greens because it is our number 2 selling product. It's a powder that you put in liquid or like a smoothie. If you want to be sneaky with your kids, you can put it between the peanut butter and jelly. And it literally has 38 superfoods in it. The equivalent of 38 superfoods. It's like taking 2 to 3 fruits, 3 to 5 vegetables from raw organic sources on a daily basis. If you buy it in the container, like in the tub, it comes with a little scooper about the size of the end of my pinky. And you take 2 scoops of it every day. But you can take more than that. I mean, when I get asked how much could I take, and I said, I don't know how many fruits and vegetables can you eat. That's essentially what the question relates to. So they come in berry and they come in orange. We just had berry join us about a year and a half ago, and I think the orange tastes like Tang. You remember that lovely little drink we used to have? And if you put an orange juice, you can't even taste the greens in it. It does look a little green, and so like we call it Shrek juice at my house. And then I think the berry tastes like Smarties crushed up in my water, so they're really yummy too. I do give them to my kids. I do recommend you do what the bottle says, but I do give them to my kids because I wish I got them more green vegetables and fruits and raw, but they just don't eat them. And I know what it does for their immune system. I mean, it's a horrible winter this year. It's full of probiotics, so it helps with their immune system as well. We get a ton of weight loss stories on the greens. It's not meant for weight loss, but when you give your body what it needs, it's not craving all the junk. When you're craving the chips or the sodas or the junk that we eat, it's really because your body is lacking something nutritionally. And so the greens is really doing that. So you'll notice it curbs your appetite. You're not craving all that junk anymore. And if you're getting sick, I would double, triple up on your greens because it's going to help fight that. And especially if you know there's a lot of sicknesses going around. So that's our greens. Let me ask you real quick, whose favorite flavor is orange? Who loves the orange? Awesome. That's what I think. Who loves the berry? A little more angry. All right, so I would love, and if it's not one of these products in our product line, that's fine too, but I'd love to hear a few testimonies on some of the products that we just talked about. Does anybody have like a wrap testimony or a greens testimony? Or
I have a really good greens one.
Why don't you go ahead and come up here so we can put you on the mic. Teresa, do you want to come share your greens testimony? I'm going to call you out, baby. I don't know everybody, so I don't know all your personal stories, but I know we got a couple of good ones in here. And if you have a story you want to share, just go ahead and come up. We'll take a few of those. It could be with the fat fighters, it could be with the gel, the facials. Hello, go ahead and introduce yourself, Rachel.
My name is Rachel Carr. I've been a distributor now a year. My story is about my husband. He has Crohn's disease. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that at all, but basically your intestines cannot process fiber or anything with texture. So he basically can't eat vegetables, period. When we first met, and until about a year ago, he was in really poor health. I mean, just sick all the time, and on Crohn's medication, and hydrocodone, and all kinds of things just to manage all the symptoms of this terrible disease. My sponsor, who was a longtime friend of ours, came over one day with a handful of greens packets. Said, I know you don't want to wrap it, and you don't believe it works, try the greens. So I said, okay. Within a week, he could tell a huge difference in just the way he felt every day. And within 4 months, he tried the greens, and I signed on within a week to be a distributor because I knew that it was going to change our lives, at least from a health standpoint, if nothing else. And within 4 months, he was off all of his Crohn's medication. Within 6 months, he was completely off hydrocodone, which he had been taking for almost 10 years. He's probably lost 30 pounds just being on greens. He's rad and runs his nose up, but the greens are the same. So he has no more flare-ups. He has almost no arthritis. He used to have arthritis in his hands and in his eyes. If you can believe that. Crohn's is an awful thing. He's had no flare-ups. Probably the last. He just does windows in the morning. Sometimes he'll do one in the afternoon if we've got something with kids going on. He needs a little extra boost. And he loves the new chews. Also, that's something he's added to his day as well. But yeah, pretty miraculous.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, Ms. Teresa, tell us a little bit about what you have experienced with our pup.
Some amazing things. Last June, I started on the greens. I am diabetic and wasn't a healthy diabetic, but now I am. Have you ever heard of that? My A1C was at 8 points, and with the greens, it went down to a nice little level of 6.7. So then I decided to add the fat fighters. So you have to be really careful with the fat fighters when you're taking medication, especially diabetes medicine. So what I do is my diabetes medicine is taken in the morning and then in the evening. But I would find that in the morning and the afternoon, but I would find I would cheat really badly in the evening, so my sugar would go up. So I decided to start taking the fat fighters in the evening. Well, then all of a sudden I noticed that my sugars in the morning would be at 89. So I continue to do that. So every 3 months I go to an endocrinologist. So I went and my A1C was 6.4. So she goes, what are you doing? She goes, because this is amazing. And I said, the fat fighters and doing the greens. And I also noticed that as I was drinking the greens, my diabetics tend to have a lot of nausea every day, a whole lot of nausea. And sometimes it would put me, I couldn't even go to work. And I noticed that the nausea was disappearing also. So then I go again to the doctor, and my A1C was 5.4. And so now I just went, actually this week, I just went to her, and I'm still at 5.4. I've lost 20 pounds. I'm doing it naturally because, of course, the greens, I'm losing weight. Just this morning I went to get a massage, and my physical therapist is saying, have you lost weight? They know because you're stripped down, I go, why? You sure look like you have. I go, okay, So, anyway, but I was talking to my endocrinologist, and she spends an hour with me. I'm good specifically an hour for her, and everyone else she goes, let's go. Like that, because I'm going through a journey, and she's going through the journey with me. So I'm kind of educating her on which works, So she's kind of journaling what I'm going through, because that's all she handles is diabetics. So she goes, Teresa, there's a new medication that they brought out. She goes, but I'm not going to give you this because I know you're on the, what is it called again? And I said, the fat fighters, where it absorbs the carbs, the sugars, and the fats, And she goes, yeah, with this medication, this brand new medication, it just came out last week, and they're going to start giving it to diabetics. But there is a side effect to this medication that they're going to give to the diabetics, and it gives urinary tract infections. I said, oh no. I said, no, because diabetics have a tendency to get those anyway. So, and she goes, I might need some of your cards, so you can leave them at my office. I need to kind of let them know about this, The fat fighters, where it works for very small, it really work. You have to make sure that you do not put it close to a medication because it will absorb it, So, and it does give you that notation on, if you look at your product information, it does give you that information also.
We have another testimony. I love that.
Hi, everybody. My testimony is going to be pretty short, but mine is about the greens as well. I have a rare skin disease, well, kind of not anymore, but I have this rare skin disease called Hy's disease. If anybody wants to look it up, make sure you have not eaten, because it's pretty gross. You can click on the images, but it's hydritis suppurativa. But my testimony is about the greens. I actually started taking them April of last year. I've had 22 surgeries my whole life. I went misdiagnosed for forever. And I would have these breakouts. So I started taking the greens about a year ago, And my testimony, I just praise God about it because I have not had an outbreak since I started taking those greens. So I'm a distributor now, and I tell all my family and friends, like, I don't sell anything. I just tell people my testimony because those greens really work, and I just praise God for that product.